Mark Wade and Alex Ross, you absolute geniuses. oh. Oh, we're back already? Okay, play the intro and I'll put this back. Greetings, geeks and girls. I'm the Joyful Jester, and welcome back to my Nerd Cave for another comic book movie review. After the Green Lantern review, I wanted to look at a pre-MCU misfire. I'm talking a Marvel movie made before the cinematic universe that we know today. And I put up a poll. Thank you to everybody who did vote, by the way. I chose between Captain America and the Punisher, and as of now, you guys voted for Captain America. Thank you all. I really appreciate you guys giving your input on what you want to see. It helps out the channel a lot. So, for those who should seriously be returning your geek card right about now, let's get a little bit of background at our star-spangled hero. Although, this is a pretty well-known fact by now, to humor the people who probably don't know this character, Captain America was created by Jack Kirby and Joe Simon in 1941. Steve Rogers was a wimpy little kid who wanted to be an American soldier, so since he had so many health difficulties and his heart was much bigger than his body, they had him partake in an experiment that would create a super soldier, if done well. Basically, they gave him super steroids, so now he can run faster and he has a jacked Arnold Schwarzenegger bod. And so, he became Weapon 1, or as most people will come to know him, Captain America. The hero who will fight in the War to End All Wars 2 Electric Boogaloo. After a battle with the dictator known as Red Skull, he was frozen in ice for several decades and now has been thawed out today to fight alongside Earth's heroes and even lead Earth's mightiest in the Avengers. While today he needs no introduction, back in 1990 he was a pretty obscure character. And keep in mind, this was during comic book movies' heyday, where Batman 89 had come out the previous year, and Ninja Turtles 1990 and the Dick Tracy movie had come out the same year. So, how did the movie handle its comic book counterpart? Well, let's look at the pros and cons, shall we? First of all, the costume design is not bad. Despite the clearly glued-on ears, I think that this is a pretty decent Captain America costume. They did a good job adapting it from the comics into live action, and while it looks a little silly, it's at least getting points for comic accuracy, which you always get points for comic accuracy on this channel. Trust me, folks, it could have been worse. A lot worse. Fun fact, did you know that that's Matt Salinger playing Captain America in that film? The star of Space Mutiny? Okay, just for yucks.
Punch rock groin.
Buck plank chest.
Stump junkman.
Big McLarge huge.
Now that we got that joke out of the way, let's continue with the review. I also want to give major props to the makeup job on Red Skull. I mean it, they did a really good job with his design. He looks scary. Way better than Skeletor rolling around in red paint that the MCU tried to give us. Not to mention, this movie has one of the funniest comic book movie moments ever.
Congratulations.
It's funny too, because ever since I saw this movie, I've been dealing with prankster Nazis pretty much all day. Hi, would you like a cookie? Oh sure, yeah, I could go for a cookie right now. Heil Hitler! Ah! So you son of a bitch! Now on to the cons. Honestly, outside of the costume and maybe a few bare basics, this movie doesn't really get Captain America's origin story right. Steve Rogers became a superhero not because that he had some crazy event or anything, or he broke his leg like in this film. No, he just wanted to be a hero. He didn't need a reason to save people, he needed a way to save people. That's what makes Captain America so awesome. Not to mention, this movie's either all over the place in terms of plot, or just boring and standard. We cut to fast forward after Cap's origin story, and then we see Red Skull's trying to take over the world, and Cap's all like,
"The hell they will! This is America!"
Overall, honestly, I was excited to come back to this movie, hopefully thinking that it would be an underrated film and that people wouldn't actually be giving it a fair chance and it was more comic book accurate than I thought it would be. But No, the criticism's pretty fair. I mean, it just feels like a cheesy action film that just happens to star a comic book character. And while some of the acting and some of the costume design and maybe a few action moments are decent, it just doesn't feel right. It needs way more updates for it to represent the time it came out. So, for my ranking, I think I'm going to give it a 2 issues in the long box. It's not really just worthy of anything else. I just think it's not worthy of your time. It's not horrible, it's just not very fun. And I was hoping more for one of the greatest superheroes of all time. Well, that's my review. I'm the Joyful Jester, and yoo-hoo! These cookies are absolutely, as you people say, delicious. Ah! Oh! Oh! Oh gosh, that smarts. I'm the Joyful Jester, and beware of prankster Nazis. They're assholes.